Hey there, Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley with you. We're still tracking the winter storm moving through the Piedmont Triad area, as we've been doing since about 1 to 2 o'clock this afternoon. When it got started, here we are. Now it's midnight. Still not done quite yet. And there have been some curveballs along the way. There's no doubt about it. We started out with a pretty big burst of some snowfall. Of course, that put down some quick accumulation. That was the best snow that we've seen throughout the event so far, and it happened right at the beginning. Again, that snowfall coating everything in sight with about an inch or two across most of the area. Since then, it's been a little tougher. We've had the sleet and even some freezing rain mixing in at times, and that iciness has kind of put a stop to a lot of the accumulation that we did start to see earlier this evening. So again, not a very fun storm if you're a snow lover, but at least it's something to look at and enjoy even so. We still have our News 2 weather impact alert going into tomorrow morning, and the reason is that the roads are just a mess. We've seen this ever since it began. It is not fun outside with the roadways. Now, this wintry mix of snow, sleet, and ice is mostly going to start to wind down by about 3 to 4 or so. However, the impact and the lasting problems with it, well, they're going to be with us through tomorrow morning no matter what you do about it. Let's take a look back at that day that was, and as I was mentioning, it all happened fast, going from this to that very quickly, and now we're in a wintry mode yet again. And you can see it kind of switched back to rain, freezing rain and sleet for a while, and then we've kind of gone back a little bit to also some snow showers. That's where we stand at this time. At midnight tonight, some light snow showers and moderate snow showers are still pushing through the area. Now, will we get a lot more accumulation? I wouldn't expect too much, but there could be an extra half an inch, maybe even an extra 1 inch still in store for some of the area. Big winners, they have been in our northern tier counties, places like Stokes, Surrey, Wilkes County, all getting decent snowfall. In fact, the Mount Airy region got about 5 inches of snow. Mayodan had a 4-inch report too. Wilkesboro, over that way in the foothills, picked up about 3 inches earlier this evening, and a closer home in the Triad, Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Thomasville, Randleman, all basically in this 1 to 2 inch range. Burlington a little closer to 0.8 to 1 inch. So it really depends on where you've been. Hey, this is a stat for you though. Officially at PTI so far this evening, there's been about 1.6 inches of snow. That's the first time we've had an inch of snow officially in 1,077 days. Long time for sure. Now, where do we go from here? Temperatures are cold. We're in the mid and upper 20s across the region at this time. So yes, it is still freezing outside. So whatever's falling from the sky, whether it be sleet, whether it be snow showers, or even freezing rain, it's all going to accumulate and stick. I wanted to show you though, this is the live camera in Winston-Salem. You'll notice there sure is some decent low visibility right now. This is a heavy snow shower that's pushing on through. So there is possibility of some extra snow coating things across the area. Temperature about 27 degrees, as I said. Greensboro, quite a bit calmer at this live time, but look at High Point. You can see a little bit limited visibility there too. If we take a quick peek at Main Street, they had this cleared a little while ago. Now it's become snow covered again, which does indicate that snow is still accumulating, although you do notice a couple of tire tracks in there. So there's snow, but it's not deep, that's for sure. Burlington, your situation right now, not quite as white and wintry as the other spots, but yeah, it still counts, doesn't it? It's been a while since we've had much of anything to track area-wide. On the winter radar, what are we seeing? Well, it's mostly snow now on the backside of this system, and it's starting to dry out. It's pushed through western North Carolina. So what are we left with? Well, at this point, it's kind of the last gasp. Between now and about 2 to 3 a.m., this batch of snow is going to rotate in. There could be some sleet and freezing rain continuing, areas south of 85 mostly. Plan on that. So a little bit of extra iciness, a little bit of extra snowiness will be continuing across our area. But if you're in Boone, if you're in Wilkesboro, for example, you're pretty much winding down and getting ready to go for this system and just kind of seeing it wrap up for you. It was a little concerning earlier tonight when that snow really stopped and we got a switch over to freezing rain and some sleet. we really had to adjust our ice map at that point. At this time, I'm not as concerned any longer, but a glaze is still possible. We've even seen a light glaze in much of the Triad area, and maybe as much as 1/10 of an inch of ice or a little bit more in some of our southern counties. Typically, that is not nearly enough to cause power outage problems, and we haven't noticed that so far today, and I hope that that continues to be the case as we go through tonight. Our snow map, where did it do well? Where didn't it do so well? Well, actually, our heaviest category performed the best. There really was 3 to 5 inches of snow in that darker blue shaded area, which is a little bit more simple because they didn't get all the mixing with the sleet that the rest of us did. Overall, this 2 to 4 inch category, probably a little bit too high, should have been closer to 1 to 2 for a lot of our folks in most of our Triad cities and farther off to the south too. I know you didn't get an inch of snow in Asheboro. It seems like you never do. It's very hard to do it. As you get a little farther south, it gets a little bit warmer above your heads, and that's where you get some of that mixed precipitation, as we say. Now, where we go from here, the rapid refresh model, we like to show it as it gives us a near-term view of what's going on really just over the next couple of hours. So here we are at midnight. It has a decent handle on the situation. Remember, I just showed you it had just cleared out in Wilkesboro. That's what it's showing us at this time. Let's fast forward to 1 and 2 in the morning. It still has a little bit of action here through about 3 a.m. or so. I think that's a little bit slow. We're probably winding down by around 2 to 3 o'clock with either some snow or sleet showers remaining in our area. Now, the forecast as we go through the next day or two, looking at your Sunday here, temperatures will be in the low 20s. That would actually be for tomorrow morning. Low 20s out there, temperatures in the upper 30s for the afternoon. It is a cold day of weather no matter how you slice it. And unfortunately, our weather pattern is still going to be extremely wintry. So we still have very cold air locked in across the Piedmont for several days. So as the system pulls away from us, look how cold we're going to be. Temperatures around 20 for Sunday morning, 30s for highs. The problem about this is that we're not going to be able to melt our roadways very easily. Our average low temperature is 30 for this time of year. Look what we're forecasting, 18, 23, 18. All of these temperatures are so cold. So even if you get some sunshine, you get some melting during the daytimes on the roadways, they're still going to refreeze at night. So the biggest problem spots are going to be those roads that are very, very shaded and that have a lot of the ice and sleet and snow on top of them. They could stay messy for a long while if they don't get any attention from snow plows or things like that. If we look at the 7-day forecast, you'll notice that there really are those cold mornings for a while, as we said, but also you just don't have a lot of weather happening. We're not looking at any rain. Rain can actually help to melt some snowfall pretty efficiently. You're not going to be finding that. And daytime highs are only in the mid and upper 30s and a couple of days in the 40s. So we don't have any 50s. We don't have any 60s to speak of. Really, we're just stuck with colder than average weather for a little while longer, and that's where we're going to be for a little while. One more recap of the radar for you. This is that winter storm pulling away from North and South Carolina. You know, the thing about it is that it actually brought some really good snow to a big chunk of the South. Tennessee got a big winter storm out of this. So did Atlanta, believe it or not. And even parts of South Carolina got some snowfall as well. Here in the Carolinas, it was a bit more hit or miss, of course. Charlotte barely got anything out of this. We got a couple of inches in spots of the area. Raleigh kind of got missed to a degree as well, or at least lighter amounts, but everybody has seen some kind of winter weather with this. And on the closer view, again, as we work our way through the next couple of hours, you're going to notice probably an uptick in some snow showers, and then it'll be ending. So that's kind of the way it looks like it'll be finishing up as we get closer to about midnight, 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. This is a pretty good look on radar here. You'll notice some of these heavier snow bands kind of rotating in across the area. So don't be shocked if you do actually pick up an extra half an inch to 1 inch or so. That's decent. And considering what we've done throughout the day, it might be nice to add a little bit to it if you're wanting some additional snowfall. This does verify, though, that we're done with precipitation. It's dried up now in Wilkes County, and parts of the foothills are about to end as well. So that's kind of where we are. Here's our Futurecast model. There's 2 a.m., this will be 3 a.m., and there's 4, pretty much over by that point. And that is where we're going to leave you. We're going to continue to have some live updates for you on WFMY Plus and on the website and on the app to keep you informed as this winter storm continues to push through the Piedmont Triad. Our first one in 3 years. Who's to say when the next one will be? But this one overall bringing a pretty big impact to the roads that's going to be with us for a little while.